Lieutenant Remi Allison had been aboard the Amarian vessel Stellar Wind for exactly 3 weeks when everything went wrong. The exchange program was supposed to be routine. Human navigator learns Amarian techniques. Amarian crew learns human methods. Everybody benefits from cultural exchange. So far, the Amarians had been polite but skeptical. Humans were new to interstellar travel, barely 2 centuries of FTL experience compared to the Amarians' 3,000 years. Captain Velos had made it clear that Remi was an observer. The Amarian navigator, a 4-armed veteran named Kreshal, handled all actual navigation duties. Then the proximity alarms started screaming. Hostile vessels dropping out of FTL. The tactical officer shouted. 6 ships, Kryn raiders, weapons hot. Velos didn't hesitate. Evasive pattern Delta. Prepare for FTL jump. Captain, FTL drive is still in maintenance cycle, the engineer reported. We have maybe 5 minutes before it overloads if we force a jump. Then we jump in 5 minutes. Navigator, calculate jump coordinates to the nearest safe system. Kreshal's 4 hands flew across his console, pulling up charts, running calculations through the ship's computer. His movements were practiced, efficient. Captain, standard jump calculation requires 45 minutes for this distance. I can expedite to 30 minutes if You have 5. Kreshal's skin turned a pale blue, the Amarian equivalent of going white with fear. Captain, that's impossible. The gravitational calculations alone require 3 minutes now. Tactical interrupted. They're charging weapons. Velos turned to Remi. Human, can your people do jump calculations faster? Remi was already at the secondary navigation console, fingers dancing across the display. Yes, sir, but I need manual control and everyone needs to trust my numbers. The computer, too slow. I'm doing this in my head. The bridge went silent except for the alarms. Krishal's translator made a sound like choking. In your head? That's thousands of variables. Gravitational constants, mass calculations, velocity vectors. 2 minutes. Tactical called out. Captain, give me control, Remi said, her voice calm despite her racing heart. Velos stared at her for exactly 2 seconds. Then she has navigation. Everyone else prepare for emergency jump. Remi's fingers moved like lightning. She wasn't using the standard navigation software, she was pulling raw data. Star positions, gravitational maps, the ship's current velocity and mass. And then she started calculating. Her eyes weren't on the screen. They were closed. What is she doing? Kreshal whispered. The numbers flowed through her mind like water. Orbital mechanics, gravitational assists, the precise angle needed to slingshot around a nearby moon to reach jump velocity. She'd done this calculation 10,000 times before, just never with real lives depending on it. 90 seconds. Remi's eyes snapped open. Her hands input coordinates faster than the Amarian computers could track. Jump solution uploaded. Ready on your mark, Captain. Velos looked at his navigator. Kreshal was staring at his console in disbelief, triple-checking Remi's math. Captain, her calculations they're perfect. All of them, in under 3 minutes. 60 seconds. They're firing. Engage, Velos ordered. The stellar wind jumped. Space twisted, reality bent, and they were gone, appearing in a safe system exactly where Remi's calculations said they would. The bridge was silent. Kreshal finally spoke. How? The computational requirements alone. No organic mind can process that fast. Remi shrugged, adrenaline still pumping. I've been doing orbital math since I was 12. 12? Velos asked. You've been training as a navigator since childhood. Not exactly. Remi smiled. I played a lot of Kerbal Space Program. It's a video game where you build rockets and navigate between planets in a solar system. You learn orbital mechanics by trial and error. Lots of error. She laughed. I must have crashed 10,000 ships before I got good at eyeballing trajectories. The Amarian crew stared at her. You learned military-grade navigation from a game? Kreshal's voice was barely above a whisper. Well, yeah, lots of human kids do. It's fun. Then I got into Elite Dangerous, which is about trading and exploring in a whole galaxy. Different physics model, but similar math. Spent probably 5,000 hours on that one. Remi looked around at the shocked faces. What? Velos settled back into his command chair, his expression unreadable. You're telling me that human children practice complex orbital calculations for entertainment? Some of us. Others play sports or learn instruments. I liked space sims. She paused. Is that weird? Weird? Kreshal made a sound like laughter mixed with despair. Our navigators trained for 8 years in formal academy settings to do what you just did, and you learned it from games. Good games, Remi added helpfully. Velos looked at his crew, then back at Remi. Lieutenant Allison, I'm reassigning you from observer status to active navigator, effective immediately. Sir, if human children learn our most complex discipline as a hobby, he shook his head. I want to see what you can do when you're actually trying. Kreschel pulled up Remi's calculation again, studying it with newfound respect. The approach vector, you use the moon's gravity to assist acceleration. That's an advanced technique we don't usually employ until the 3rd year of training. Oh, that's just a gravity assist. Super basic maneuver. Wait until I show you litho braking. Litho, what? Remi grinned. You're gonna love it, or hate it. Probably hate it, but it works. Captain Velos made a note to file a very interesting report with the exchange program administrators. The humans, it seemed, were full of surprises. What video game taught you real skills? Comment and follow Sci-Fi Shorts for more stories about humanity's unconventional training methods.